Okay, so we're here at the corner near the intersection of Forest Avenue and Victory Boulevard. The city seems to want to proceed in a reckless way to this bus lane that's going to impact in a negative way hundreds of people. And again, the plan is to create a bus lane in the morning and in the afternoon on either side and force people, many who are disabled, elderly, have illnesses, whatever the case may be, to park 7/10 of a mile away. Just think about that, folks. If you're sitting in Great Kills or Westerly or Tottenville, you have a parking spot in front of your house. Now the city comes along and takes away that stuff along your street, the space along the street. You're going to have to park 7/10 of a mile away. That's what the city wants to do intentionally. We're fighting them every step we can. But we've just come aware, because as you can see, they laid down these lanes, and we're going to call this unsafe at any speed. The city DOT guidelines mandate that the bus lanes are at least 11 feet, because a standard bus is 8.5 feet wide. And so just do the math, it's geometry, that the bus itself is 8.5 feet wide. Then you have the side view mirrors, as you're going to see these buses with the side view mirrors protrude out. So the minimum is 11 feet. Yet right here, this area right here, it's 8 feet 3 inches wide, the lane. So what's going to happen? You have, by definition, the bus itself is wider than the lane. So as a bus is going to come up here, it's going to force a car or a truck or another bus in the regular lane into oncoming traffic going in either direction. So the city now is so reckless in proceeding with this that they're willing to put people's lives at risk, because if and when there is an accident, they are officially on notice that they knew about this, that the lanes themselves were less than the width of the bus. And some of the guidelines here talk about minimal curb demand. In other words, when do you put a bus lane in? Minimal curb demand. That is whatever city speak for. If a lot of people use the area for parking already, they should not convert that to a bus lane, right? And as we know, from here all the way up to Little Clove Road and beyond, people use these lanes to park. Yet they're moving forward, and it's just wrong. We want the city to follow its own rules. Somehow they have a problem with that. And it's not just about making a bus ride another minute shorter or whatever the case may be. Now they are intentionally putting people in harm's way, and we urge them to stop this once and for all. For those who are paying attention, we're going back into court in August. There was an order to show cause. The motion was granted to stop it. The city appealed it, and they're proceeding, which is why we are here. And just food for thought, we have the picture appears in real time. This photo was taken yesterday, the top photo. As you can see, there's a bus in the bus lane, and there's another bus that's passing it, and it's literally forcing the other cars to move away, and the second bus is over the double yellow line, right? And what are we looking at there? The bottom photo are photos taken elsewhere. No surprise, the bus lanes in Brooklyn and other parts of the city. We have specific examples here on Nostrand Avenue and Avenue I believe. The bus lanes there are 12 feet. So in other parts of the city, they're doing 11 and 12-foot bus lanes, but on Staten Island, once again, we get the short end of the stick. It's 8 feet 3 inches. And the person who's been fighting with us every step of the way is Assemblyman Sam Pirozzolo. Sam?
Thank you, Mr. Borough President. I'm going to have to say that I disagree a little bit on one thing, that hundreds of people are being inconvenienced. It's really more like thousands of people. This young lady is a resident. We have a school. We have buildings. And if you just stand here and look at this from my perspective, you can see that this lane is nowhere near as wide as a bus. We're only thinking about the width of the bus. Standing here, if you just saw the buses go by, let's talk about the height of the trees. Now, we know that in New York City, trees have more rights than people. So this tree is going to have to be trimmed. This one may be okay. But if you look further down the street, all of these trees are going to have to be trimmed before this lane can go in, because you can't knowingly have these city buses hitting all of these trees. So it's a problem every way. And this is a classic example of the city saying, we're going to do it because we can. We don't care who you are. We don't care what you have to say, but this is what we want. We all know that New York City has a war on cars. They also have a war on Staten Island, and it's a big problem. So I have to thank the borough president very much and everyone else who's working on this, because, you know, if we talk about this and even battery sites, you know, we were able to close a couple of down. Maybe we'll be able to be successful here because somebody goes out and tests everything that needs to be tested. Who would have thought, let's go measure the bus lane? But just take a look at it. It's obvious it doesn't work, okay? So I want to thank the borough president for that due diligence, everybody that's involved. This really needs to stop. It goes into the judicial process because there's no common sense when it comes to New York City. There's absolutely no common sense when it comes to Mayor Mondami. This is do what I say because I say it, and that's all there is to it. When we live here, we have to live with the consequences of your bad decisions. So thank you very much, Mr. Borough President, for doing this, and I hope we are successful in August. I can't see how we're not, but then, you know, we have the review process, and then we're going to probably wind up in front of a judge who doesn't live on Staten Island. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Assemblyman. Appreciate your ongoing fight. And you use the words war in Staten Island. That's pretty much what we have, because this is just one of many things that are coming out of the city. We don't want them. In fact, some of these proposals are brought before the community board and other elected officials, and they're unanimously rejected, and yet the city proceeds accordingly. So in other words, why even pretend to have input if you're not going to even listen to the people who live here and work here and own businesses here? You know, my grandmother used to have an expression, is 10 pounds of sausage in a 5-pound bag. This is like 12 pounds of dirt in a 10-pound bag. That does not work. The math does not work. It's unsafe at any speed. The law department, the city of New York, I hope you're listening, because when there is an accident and the city is sued for millions of dollars, you will notice that this happened on your watch. And once again, we tell the story. Sam and I we don't live around here, but we're the voice of the people around here. But somebody who actually lives here and speaks in our own voice is Tori Boria. Tori?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm a resident over here. Thank you. I'm a resident over here at one of these buildings that is going to be affected by this bus lane. This bus lane will dramatically reduce the quality of life for hundreds of residents in our 4 rent-stabilized buildings. DOT previously found buses already flowed well here, yet this project moves forward despite 500+ petition signatures and countless testimonies. Please don't sacrifice the people who already live here. That's including the disabled, the elderly, and the people that work swing shifts and only get about 4 hours of sleep between their shifts. We deserve to be heard before our neighborhood is permanently changed. Thank you.
All right. Well put. To the point. Thank you, Tori. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting. Now, again, the city's intentionally putting people in harm's way. We think it's wrong. And it's fine. Like, just admit that we made a mistake. It's cool. We all make mistakes. And just give the people their lives back. That's it. Any questions? Good. Thank you very much.